Hello, folks, and welcome to this hurricane short summary. We are going to be looking at a very intense and deserving to be remembered hurricane, the 1935 Labor Day hurricane. This hurricane is also known as simply the Great Labor Day Hurricane, or you can add the Great Labor Day Hurricane of 1935. This hurricane is also called Hurricane 3, as it was the third known hurricane of the 35 season. The first time that this storm is documented is as a tropical depression on the 29th of August. At this point, this storm is only 320 kilometers away from the Turks and we're off to a rough start here. The Siakos, the Kiakos, the Kiasos. I'm gonna say Siakos Islands. There. I'm sorry, folks. We would see explosive intensification of the storm starting on the 1st of September. In fact, this thing would peak and landfall on the same day, September 2nd. This peak was 185 miles per hour at a pressure minimum of 892 millibars, which is insane. Keep in mind that this pressure is only a landfall pressure, which, to be fair, there wasn't that much time with it becoming a Category 5 in the landfall, but still. This hurricane also had a minor landfall as a Category 1 near Cedar Keys, Florida, as well. The storm would then very quickly depart the United States, exiting the US and into the Atlantic via Cape Henry, Virginia. The hurricane is then classified as extratropical on the 6th and then dissipates 4 days later, so September 10th. This storm is ultimately responsible for 423 deaths, as well as 100 million US dollars in damage. Due to the such rapid intensification of the storm, however, the most intense winds were only seen around, what is that, 8.5 or so miles outwards. This is a very common trend among storms that intensify very rapidly because their winds simply do not have time to develop as much as they would otherwise. This would not stop this hurricane from running no less than 3 ships aground and derailing an evacuation train. This train is indeed the train seen here at the bottom right. Note how only the locomotive and tender itself are the ones still on the track. This train was delayed by a little bit, which caused problems, of course. The train made it to its destination, got people on board, but simply did not make it back as it was, well, as you can see, and like I said, derailed. Which is a problem. Due to the such rapid intensification and indeed the strength of this storm, in the Florida Keys there was nearly complete annihilation. We see a picture of the Keys up here at the top right. However, this would not be where we saw the most heavy rain. The Keys saw around 3 to 5 inches of rain. Georgia would actually see more than 5 inches of rain in some places. Delaware saw 380 to 410 millimeters, which is around, oh my goodness, what, 11 to, what is that, more than 14 inches, I believe. And the highest rainfall amounts from the system would be in eastern Maryland, of all places, 422 millimeters. That is, let's see, 406 millimeters is 16 inches. So that's around, what, 17 and a half, somewhere like that, inches of rain. Despite the such little information that we have on the storm, this is because the storm is from 1935, a problem with gathering information. However, note that this is one of only 4 documented Category 5 landfalls on the United States. The others are 69's Camille, 92's Andrew, and 2018's Michael. I hope I got Michael's year right. I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure. This is also the most intense landfall in the entirety of United States history by a tropical system. Now, all three other Category 5s are indeed intense, do not get me wrong. However, no hurricane has matched the wind speeds upon landfall, nor the pressure upon landfall. Speaking of pressure, this storm holds third place by most intense by pressure in the entirety of the North Atlantic Basin. The only other two that beat this storm out is Wilma with a pressure of 882 and Gilbert of 1988 with a pressure of 888. No, I'm not making that up. 1988 saw a pressure of 888. Also significant, and to, pardon me, sorry, end off on a good record here, this this storm was the very first storm in history that we know of to be surveyed by an aircraft. Now, we think of aircraft reconnaissance nowadays as the Hurricane Hunters, big four-engined aircraft that do drop sondes, that record data, all this different stuff. This is not at all what this was. This was a single engine, off to a bad start here, open cockpit, definitely not flying into a hurricane, biplane. This thing would get destroyed in this thing. So, pardon me again, sorry. This was simply used to locate where the system was, and that was it. This is, by all accounts, reconnaissance of a tropical system by an aircraft. So, I am counting it here. So that is the very first time that aircraft reconnaissance happened for a tropical system. That's pretty cool. The concept would not come up again until 1943, and even then, nothing was done about it. So it was only until around the mid 50s that this was finally enacted upon, and the hurricane hunters as we know it today actually came around. So, with that, folks, that is all that I have on the Labor Day hurricane. Pardon me again, I'm sorry, of 1935. I hope that you all learned something from this video, and I certainly did with the aircraft reconnaissance bit. I hope to see you in the next one. I thank you all so much for watching.